So I have the United Way of Rhode Island. Thank you, Corny's here. The Rhode Island Foundations, I saw Inés there. Alianza de Transformación Social, Progreso Latino and their youth ambassadors, the Rhode Island Professional Association, the Rhode Island Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, the American Food Market. Thank you for all this, letting us use their space and everything that they did. The Guatemalan Consulate, Wine Neighborhood Builders, also Neighborhood Health Plan of Rhode Island. Thank you. Clinica Esperanza. So I saw Grace and I saw Annie. Thank you so much. Common Cause of Rhode Island. John Marion, thank you. Entre Nos con Marisol Camilo, all the support she gave us in the radio station. To our community of faith leaders and all their congregation, thank you so much, because when we call you, you responded. You help us fill a void. There was a lot of people that were not sure if they should trust the process and fill out the census, and you got together and spoke to your congregation. So thank you so much. New Bridges for Haitian Success, Bernard, thanks. Higher Ground International, we saw Henry. So we have to say a double thank you for Henry, that she's here with us. We're so glad that you're here with us, Henry. We have Arise and the Center for Southeast Asian. Shanabi also joined right here with us. And last but not least is the Elisha Project. And Pastor Cesar just spoke on behalf of George Ortiz. Actually, the Elisha Project was instrumental in ensuring that during the time of so much need and suffering, we were able to provide food, fresh food, and culturally appropriate food to our community. We are so grateful for that. Actually, before I continue, I neglected like the rule number one of the City Council is I have my colleagues of the City Council who I haven't acknowledged. So I just want to acknowledge, I saw Deputy Majority Leader Harris. Thank you so much for joining us. And I believe—
Thank you. I'm sorry for my camera off, but I'm working out, guys.
That's fine. Thank you so much. And I believe Councilman Goncalves may be here. Billy, please let me know if I'm missing any other council member. Okay. Thank you. So next, I would like to introduce Kaylin Flores Janes, who she's a senior at the Paul Coffey Upper School. And also she served as one of the Census Youth Ambassadors. And also the ambassadors were very essential on getting Rhode Islanders counted. Thank you to the Rhode Island Foundation, to the United Way of Rhode Island for funding this critical program. Kaylin was joined by Hannah Jordan and Jorge Marcano, and they were under the direction of Lisette Pascal and Maria Friedman. So thank you so much. I want to thank all of you for your hard work and also for your dedication on making sure that everybody got counted. So with that, I just want to turn it over to Kaylin. So Kaylin, please take it away.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. As she already said, my name is Kaylin, and I'm really happy and excited. A little nervous to be here because like so. But as a Progressive Latino Youth Ambassador, I work to ensure the undercounted communities, so that they were counted for the 2020 census. That was a huge privilege and a great opportunity for me, especially because working with them this summer was my first job. And I got to be around people. And although it was different and a little hard at first, especially given the times, I was able to celebrate it because of all the amazing working hard people around me. Being able to be a part of something that has a huge impact, not only in my city of Providence, but in the state, while also contributing and making a difference was a huge accomplishment. And I felt really happy doing so. As I took part of different events and meetings through the collaboration with the Providence City Council, I could see firsthand, it really takes a village. from the from the funders like Rhode Island Foundation and United Way to nonprofit agencies like Progresso, which is where I'm from, like working with, and for everyone responsible and the leaders like Sabina Matos, or even the faith-based leaders who welcomed us every Sunday to all the events, and the food pantries, which were amazing, and I felt really happy. I was present in a lot of the Elijah's Project ones, and it was just amazing to see everyone around. And the people who, in spite of going through everything with COVID-19, they still opened themselves up to be counted and like gave themselves the opportunity to have us talk to them, because not a lot of people were really trusty about talking to people. So the fact that they did that was really amazing. Being able to help everyone and talk to them allowed me to really appreciate what I have and be grateful that I could help and make a change and help people by informing them about the 2020 census. And as a youth who got her first job with this opportunity, I'm really grateful. And I hope that I was able to forward, but I also know that it's just the beginning. So thank you, everyone, for listening. Thank you, Doris Maylene de los Santos. I really appreciate it.
Good job,
Thank
Taylor.
you. And back to the
Thank
president.
you. Thank you so much. So before I continue, I would like to just take a pause and thank the person that brought us all together, and that was Luis Estrada. Luis was working on this project of the census, and he had this type of working that in which he allows you to collaborate and to come up with ideas, in let the partners come with other ways in which they can contribute, and he was always open to new ideas. So Luis, I want to thank you deeply from the bottom of my heart for bringing all of us together and making sure that this happened, because we were successful. You were the force behind all of us, getting us all together. So thank you so much, Luis. And also there's so many ways in which we can thank individuals, members, but and especially when we have so many good people working together. You guys are the best. So we, our creative team have something to show to all of you, and a little way to have to say thank you to all of you. Billy?
Just give me a second to share my screen.
Yes, so it's technology, so we have just be patient, because sometimes it doesn't go as planned.
Kaylin, while that happens, I'm going to show you a picture of my daughter.
Oh, yes, she does look like her.
Like you.
Yeah.
I call you, I need you, my heart's on fire. You come to me wild and wild. You come to me
worth mentioning. Obviously, there are some that stick out like crazy. The Elijah Project, when we first met, started out with feeding about 450 people a week, and I think that they went in excess of 4,000 per week. Obviously, it lended itself, the situation lended itself for them to help, and it was the same clientele that we were trying to reach out. So extremely helpful. But one thing I really want to mention before is I learned a lot about how the state works, because this was a state contract. So for my benefit and yours, understand that I was getting paid to do this, where a lot of other people were volunteering. So the volunteers deserve a lot more credit because there's a lot of time spent out there doing stuff. But you know, people like Meredith and Mia with her tenacity, and Meredith with her way of finding ways to shorten stuff, and then Vin keeping me apprised of daily changes was phenomenal. I was like, this guy must not sleep. But the rest of you guys, thank you so much, because although there's given credit here, the credit goes to everyone else. And I loved meeting the new people. And if there's one thing I could tell you to end this right here, is that my son was everywhere, and I spotted him in the pictures. So thank you, Billy, for including him in the pictures.
Anybody else would like to thank another partner?
Thank you all, and thank you so much for this, but I really want to thank everybody out in the community for participating. When we started this process, we started with what we called the kitchen cabinet, a small group of people trying to put this together in the fall of 2019. So we had a lot of lead time on this, trying to get the entire project put together. And every step of the way, as we needed something, as we started reaching out, we found partners at United Way, at Rhode Island Foundation, in groups in the community, people willing to give their time to come to meetings. We had 63 people on the Complete Count Committee for the state, and many of those were also involved, I know, at the Providence level. So I can't thank people who took time for pretty much a year in advance to give their time to this project, to come up with objectives, to come up with ways, and then all of a sudden turn it all around with the pandemic, because certainly that wasn't something we planned for, and everybody just rolled with the punches and did the best that they possibly could given the circumstances. And all the changing deadlines, and the census will end now, and no, it's going to end then, no, it's going to end now, no, it's going to end in 10 days, and just making sure that we could get everything out there, that all the information, talk to trusted partners. I would be remiss if I didn't actually also thank Nancy McIntyre, who heads purchasing for State of Rhode Island, for taking my calls, talking to me late at night, making sure we could get some of the POs through. And in addition, Joe Sachs from the governor's office, who was the one who got the executive order rolling on this.
And Nancy is amazing, so thanks for mentioning her. All right, who you have next, Billy?
I have Dr. DeGrew.
Hi, everyone.
Dr. Annie.
Yeah, so we're so grateful at Clinica Esperanza for having been able to participate in the census. So thank you, everyone, for putting it all together. I think that we think it's incredibly important for the population of undocumented to come into the city and be counted and considered important voices to hear in the census process. And I do want to give a shout out to Damaris Rosales, who really did a lot of work on trying to get our patients to speak up and be counted, and also to Alicia Project for bridging the gap and bringing food to our patients. I think those are the two key partners that I would like to acknowledge, and thank you again for the opportunity. Hi, Damaris.
Hello.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Damaris. Yeah.
Thank you.
Billy, who would you have next?
I don't see any other hands up right now.
All right, so I saw Michael Nina, I saw Larry Warner. So many people. Thank you so much for joining, honestly. We wanted to have this opportunity to celebrate. We wanted it to be in person, but you cannot do that yet. We will do it at some point. I want to also just highlight the importance of the census. I remember I had some members of the city council were like, why are you doing so much stuff for the census? Why, what does that, why are we putting so many resources of the staff taking so much time in doing that? And the reason is, and we can see, is that the census is gonna determine a lot of things that's gonna happen in the city and in the state. In the first one, we already started, which is the Ward Boundary Committee. And this happens every 10 years after the census. And we already have the first meeting in which we have members of the city council. Councilwoman Harris is here with us, she's part of that committee. Councilman Narducci and also Councilor Miller. But also we have the opportunity to have community members to be part of that committee this time around. So we have Jessica Signa, and we also have Nick Friedman, who are part of the Ward Boundary Committee. And this is so important because this is the way how we're gonna determine the lines of the city, of who's gonna represent what part of the city for the future. And we want to make sure that our neighborhoods have a voice and we're represented. So that's another reason why this work was so important, that we can see right away. For all of you that are interested in this process, the next meeting is gonna be on February 23rd. In the meantime, they're meeting once a month because, as you know, we're still waiting for the final count of the data to be sent for the census. And something that we just learned recently is that Governor Raimondo, who did a lot, also gave us a lot of support for this work for the complete count. Now she's gonna be, if it's confirmed soon, she will be the new Secretary of Commerce, and the census falls on the commerce at the federal government. So probably we're gonna be working closer with her still on this process. So I just wanna take this opportunity again to thank all of you for everything that you did and for taking the time to participate and collaborate with us. In the staff of the City Council, thank you so much for everything that you did. Some of you were like filling out census form outside, sometimes in the cold weather. Thank you for that. And I want to thank Doris de los Santos and Billy Kettner who put this together. Thank you both for making it happen. And with that, I'm about to give you back your time, but I just want to do a final check if anybody has anything that you would like to add before we close.
We do, ma'am. Michael has something to say.
Oh, Michael, good.
So this is Michael from Neighborhood Health Plan, and I just wanted to really thank Sabina and Doris and the team, because you really throughout the whole entire time kept us informed, connected, and picked up our phone calls. That was in the midst of everything. You know how hard it was to get in contact with people, and you guys were some of the easiest people to communicate with and get a hold of, and that really counts. So thank you so much, Sabina, Doris, and the team. Thank you.
Okay, sure.
And next we have Courtney.
I just want to take a moment, one, to say thank you, Council President Sabina Matos, for putting this together, as well as the entire council for being so thoughtful in its recognition. You know, this is one of those opportunities when you sit back and say, when the state came together for one goal and wasn't divisive in it and got it done, I feel like this is just such a great example of that, and one that should be touted by many. If I would have one person or group or whatever it might be to thank to make this happen, it is every single one of our undocumented neighbors who said, I am going to complete this census. They didn't have to. There was a lot of fear and anxiety, and they either found a trustworthy resource with the great nonprofit organizations that they worked with, or they realize that this is for something bigger than just themselves even. And so I am abundantly grateful for every single one of our neighbors who took that leap.
Thank you, Courtney. Thank you for acknowledging the individuals from the undocumented community who came forward and participated. So Billy, yes.
We have Deputy Majority Leader Harris.
Oh, yes. Deputy Majority Leader Harris.
I just want to say how amazing this is to see so many people who came together collectively and worked so hard for something that's so important. You know, you never know behind the scene, and please forgive me for having my camera off. Like I was working out and I just don't feel like looking at myself. So forgive me for that. But most of you know that I'm very personal. I like people and I love the idea of the work that you were doing and how you did it. We're going to see the results of it. And it's a privilege for me to be able to serve on the award committee. It's a privilege, I can say that. But the work really, I got to say, was really, really done from a grassroots level from you folks. And it's beautiful, beautiful, I say. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for all you've done. And I didn't know so many partners. It's just so big. It's awesome. People collectively working together. It's awesome.
Thank you, Deputy Leader Harris. And that is true. I can't wait for the next opportunity to work together with all of you. It was a pleasure working with all of you and the partnership that we built. So I'm so looking forward to the next time. With that, I'll give you back your time. Thank you for participating.